We talk about a lot of the Clippers' issues. We talk about a lot of their inconsistencies. We talk about a lot of things here lately about the Clippers within the last 7 games, or the first 7 games, I should say, of the season that the Clippers have played so far. But so far, to me, there's been one bright spot for the Clippers that was very unexpected to me going into this season. I've criticized this guy several times, more than several times probably, because I said I needed more out of him. I needed more, more energy, more physical presence out of him and everything. And so far, to me, this may just be my opinion, but so far, Ivica Zubac has really, played pretty decent for the most part. Now, last year he was averaging about, I think it was 10.3 points a game with 8.9 rebounds a game. This year so far, numbers are not much different, but there is a significant difference in one category that I want to point out the most. So this year in 7 games so far, he's averaging like 9 points a game, but he's averaging 11.9 rebounds a game. And just the other night against the Rockets, he had about, I think it was somewhere around, 12 rebounds, 13 rebounds. I think he had like 16 and 12 that game, which is pretty impressive for Zubac, because the minutes that he plays, the opportunities that he gets to score and be engaged in the offense sometimes is minimal, because they got so much other talent in so many other positions. Now, I've said the center position is one of their weakest positions that they have going into this season, but if he's going to play like that and give them double-digit rebounds damn near every game consistently, and battle on the boards and give them about 10 to 12 points per game, that's really probably all they can ask out of Zubac, based upon all the talent they have on this team. And there's only one basketball on the floor. Everybody can't get a touch. Everybody can't get their shots up how they want. Some people have to sacrifice. Zubac, technically, he wouldn't be sacrificing, because that's around the points that he's averaged for his career since he's been in the league since 2016. But my point is, if he can keep up what he's doing in regards to the rebounding, I've been highly impressed with that these first few games. I think against OKC he had like an 18 rebound game, I think, against them. Only thing I need to see Zubac do this against more premier teams, more of the teams that that are going to challenge them in the future. You do it against the Warriors, do it against the Suns, do it against going forward. I mean, he will. I believe he will come through, and play like that. I hope he does anyway. But I mean, I need to see him do this against more premier teams, or at least in the, when the season gets going for real, like, when we're 30 games in, in the middle of the season, or, getting deep in the season where seedings and standings and all that stuff really matter. I'm gonna need him to be more like that at that point of the season as well, so he can, keep on building on top of what he's doing. Zubac doesn't really have to score a whole lot of points. He just needs to be aggressive in the paint. And when his opportunity is to score, for him to go ahead and score when his opportunity, or when his number is called. And that's really all they need out of Zubac. But if they can get 11.9 rebounds, which he's giving right now the first 7 games, if they can get that out of him through the whole season, the Clippers could be even better than what is projected if Kawhi is healthy and everybody else is healthy along with that. Because think about it. If he's getting 11.9 rebounds a game, which is 12 rebounds a game, that means it's 2 or 3 out of that 11, or maybe 4 out of that 12 rebounds he's getting could be offensive rebounds, which means, of course, they miss a shot, he gets the offensive rebound, kick it back out to another shooter, or he goes up himself and score in the paint and get his own points and be aggressive that way. That's the Zubac that they're going to need if they're going to prosper and be a better team than what they are right now going forward. You need a guy in the paint with a presence who is not afraid to go out there and battle. And that's one thing I always question Zubac's heart. I never question his talent, but his heart has always been something that I question, because you have to go out there and battle in the paint, in the trenches with these guys. You got to go out there and make a presence in the paint. And that's the only way big men in this league get respect, by making a presence in the paint. And to be that, you got to battle, You got to fight for rebounds. You got to stand your ground. You got to box out well, and you have to have good timing to make sure that rebound comes in your favor. And this is what Zubac is doing. I don't expect Zubac to score much more than what he's scoring per game because, as I said, it's too much. It's a lot of talent on this team where the ball might not even get to him offensively where he do his thing. I just think there's times where they have to slow the game down and, mix up the offense a little bit, throw the ball into the paint where Zubac can work and, go one-on-one with his defender who's defending him at that time. And if he doesn't have the advantage, kick it out to one of the three-point shooters, the many three-point shooters that they have, and they're going to play effective basketball that way. I think that's how they're doing it. Now, me personally, that's a decent strategy, but I would like to see more aggressiveness for other players too. I don't want to see the Clippers just live and die by the three because that's a gift and a curse to me. Living and dying by the three. Shooting threes are fine, but when you live and die by them, a lot of times you die by them more than you live by them because in the playoffs, a lot of times they hurt you because you can find yourself down in the series because the jump shot's not falling. The Clippers are good enough to come back if they're down in the series, but they don't want to keep putting themselves through that type of pressure because it's hard to come back when you're down 0-2 in a series or, down, 0-1 in a series and you have to make a comeback and, use all your energy to tie the series up or something like that. And then you're trying to figure out a way to maintain enough energy to sustain it to win the series. So, the Clippers putting themselves in bad situations is something they should definitely focus on this year, opposed to like a few years ago or years or seasons prior, because they want to put themselves in the best situation as possible. And to me, so far, having a big man like Zubac giving you 12 rebounds a game is a sight for them. Is very good for them because, as I said, the more aggressive that he is, it doesn't have to be scoring. He just needs to be more aggressive in regards to just being a big man. Now, one of those games I think against the Rockets, he had 4 blocks also. And see, that's another thing. Scoring is not all, it's not the end all be all for Zubac. If Zubac can rebound, very well, box out well, make a presence in the paint the way he's supposed to, and get a few block shots per game, now the Clippers are working with something because now they got a big man that is playing with his heart rather than playing just through his talent. And that's the difference between players that are better rather than players who are not as good. You see what I'm saying? The players who are the best players or the ones who have more of a name are the ones who really give themselves or make people respect their presence. And like I said, scoring doesn't always have to be the cue or the go-to. With Zubac especially, like I said, if he's rebounding and contesting shots, blocking shots, being a disruptor in the paint, causing turnovers at times, making guys travel, like let's say the big man is backing Zubac down in the paint, hypothetically. If he's backing Zubac down the paint, hypothetically, Zubac gets a little physical with him, it might make him pass the ball out to the wing and take a more difficult shot, or, that big man might try to body Zubac in there, but Zubac, if he learns to stand his ground and be more physical, it'll make the opposing team's big man think twice about going at Zubac rather than years, prior to this season where a lot of times people will go at Zubac because they feel like he's not even in the paint. They feel like nobody's even in there. They just go in the paint and score because they don't feel like he's a threat at all. And this is the thing. Zubac wants to get to a point where he needs to get to a point where he is a threat to the opposing team players who come in the paint, because they need to know Zubac is going to contest it, whether it's a layup, whether it's a jump shot. If you're anywhere near that paint, Zubac is going to contest, and he is going to be physical if you try to back him down in the paint. And that's what the Clippers need out of him all season long and going into the playoffs, because the Clippers want to be a physical team at times too when they need to be. Because when you're shooting threes a lot and you're just playing that type of style of basketball and the ISO basketball that they play, which I don't really like. I'm not too big on ISO too much. And not unless Kawhi Leonard's playing ISO, because I know Kawhi is a master of the mid-range and he is deadly ISO. I mean, super deadly. Now, Paul George can be too, so I'm not gonna, rule out Paul George there, but Paul George gets a little trigger happy with the shot sometime, and Paul George's shot selection is bad a lot of times to me, whereas Kawhi Leonard's shot selection is always high efficient, very well thought of before he actually, or very well calculated before he actually goes out and do it. It just seems like that when Kawhi Leonard plays. It seems like Kawhi has everything calculated in his mind before he actually does it. Sometimes it seems like Paul George, at times he seems calculated, but there's a lot of times where he seems very, unfiltered with his jumper, with his scoring attack. It's very bad shot taking, bad shot making at times, and sometimes that motivates him to take more bad shots when he's making shots that are not high efficient. So that can hurt the Clippers, but it's a balance, because if Kawhi Leonard's healthy, he's taking all efficient shots, so it kind of balances them out some. But at the same time, like I said, the Clippers rely on the ISO ball too much, if you ask me. But that's another story for another day. But this, I wanted to speak on this because, like I said, so far, I've liked what Zubac has done. They haven't played no real premier teams as of yet, besides the Phoenix Suns. But that's okay, Practice good habits now, and they'll benefit you more in the future. So with that being said, I want to see more from Zubac. I want to see, more grittiness from him in the paint. And if, like I said, if the Clippers can get this 11, 12 rebounds per game with averaging like 1.8 or like 2 blocks per game, that's exactly what they need. That's exactly what they will want. That's exactly what can help them, propel them to be a better team in the future when they get everybody 100% healthy, playing minutes how they're supposed to. Because as I said, when you shoot threes a lot, you could be looked at as a finesse team. You play more finesse basketball because you're not being physical. But if the Clippers can go back and forth, be finesse, drive in the paint some, be a little bit more aggressive, and with Zubac playing aggressive, at least on the defensive end, and being aggressive in regards to rebounding, they can damn near be unbeatable. They really can. So, I want to see Zubac continue what he's doing in the rebound department. If possible, he can pick up the scoring a little bit. I like to see him average about 14 points a game, 14 and 10. That's what I said about him about a season ago, 2 years ago. I like to see him average like 14 and 10, but I understand there's a lot of talent, more talent on this team now. So the opportunity of that 14 points might be kind of slim, but he is averaging over 10 rebounds right now. It's only 7 games in the season, but we still got time to see more how he's gonna, consistently do this. Hopefully he can, because the center position is one of those positions for them that's the slightest. But I like to see more. I like to see Diabate a lot more. I want to see a little bit more Moses Brown too. I really want to see Diabate really more than Moses Brown, but still I want to see more of what they have to offer too, because I think that, along with the way Zubac is playing, I feel like those other two guys are motivating Zubac to play harder, because he know that they could take some of his minutes. So I like that competition right there. I like the way Zubac is handling himself so far, but we just need to see it, consistently throughout the season. And if everybody gets healthy and no minute restrictions and all that stuff going forward, the Clippers will be fine. And I think they'd be a lot more. They would look a lot more like a championship team if they were more well-rounded. Zubac having a presence in the paint on the defensive end can give you 10 plus points and give you 2 blocks on average per game. And you got the wing players doing their thing, but at the same time, while they're good at, have a lot of shooters, be a little bit more aggressive, in their approach as a team. Not just Zubac be aggressive, everybody be aggressive. Drive to the paint more, draw more fouls, less ISO basketball, unless it's the best player on your team. But that's the crazy thing, when Kawhi Leonard's there, he ISOs, but he really likes to go to the paint. He likes to shoot the mid-range, but he also likes to go to the paint and draw fouls. Kawhi is very aggressive when he needs to be, and he knows when he needs to be aggressive. And that's the one thing I want the rest of this team to know. Know when it's time to be aggressive. Know when it's okay to shoot the jump shot. That's pretty much the basics for the Clippers, but that can help the Clippers go a long way in this season, because there's certain teams they're going to play, the jump shot isn't falling. Well, if the jump shot's not falling, don't keep shooting them. Go become aggressive. Get some fouls. Get the opposing team in foul trouble. Get yourself going from the free throw line. Sometimes that helps with the jump shot. So to make a long story short, though, as I said, I like what Zubac is doing so far. Being aggressive on the defensive end, being aggressive in regards to boxing out, getting the rebound, stuff like that. Hopefully, as I said, the rest of the team needs to be more aggressive that way too, not just shoot jumpers. But hey, as I said, if they could put this all together and take the minutes restriction away and everybody play the way they're supposed to, this team could really do a lot of good things. And it'd be money well spent for Zubac, the $33 million they gave him, if he can continue playing the way he is playing. Because as I said, to me, on the low, he's probably the bright spot the Clippers actually have right now, honestly. You know what I'm saying? On the low. But hopefully continuance from him of playing like this and getting better throughout the season and ascending more along with this team. And we'll see what the outcome or what the verdict is at the end of the season going into the playoffs. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check my other videos if you haven't. And hey, till next time.